Good evening and welcome to the Nigerian Television Authority NTA ILORIN. This is Newsreel and I am Olajide Bello. And before we go ahead, we're sorry for coming late on air today. This was due to some technical hitches. Moving on now for an outlook of tonight's package, we beam our searchlight on some communities ravaged by flood in Edu local government area of Kwara State. And correspondent examines the potentials embedded in vast mineral resources in Kwara State. And of course, updates from the world of entertainment and sport. News will be right back in a moment. Now let's talk security. 174 participants have graduated from the third quarter courses of the Nigerian Army Institute of Science, Education and Technology with a charge to implement the courses studied in their various fields of serving the nation wholeheartedly as military officers. The commandant of the institute, Major General Bello Alhaji Soho, while addressing the graduates, also reiterated the readiness of the officers to tackle the security challenges facing the country. Aisha Bakayaya was at the Sobi Cantonment in Ilorin and filed the report.
In view of the asymmetric nature of war against insurgency, which the military has continued to degrade in the country, equipping frontline troops with requisite skills informed the establishment of Nigerian Army Institute of Science, Education and Technology, where officers can have access to more knowledge in handling insurgency. With 174 graduates for the third quarter courses in the institute, the course is timely because Nigeria needs more intelligence officers in the use of sophisticated weapons and literacy that can take the country to a better level outside insurgency. 10 courses are offered in the institute, including executive management courses, basic museum and archive, basic library and training development advices course, among others.
The current Chief of Army Staff, in person of Lieutenant General Farouk Koya, has placed higher premium, high emphasis on training. He doesn't joke with training. And based on that, we key into his vision to ensure that our officers and even soldiers are well trained to be able to acquire the necessary knowledge, both from the leadership, geopolitics, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and so on and so forth. So if you check the course content of the program, is very rich and wide.
Top on the priority list of the graduates is to implement what has been studied in the institute immediately on the field, and as such have the Nigerian Army ready to accomplish their assigned missions within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria.
This course is designed to reinforce the senior officers' familiarity with geopolitical interests of Nigeria, build the leadership principles and skills of the officers to strengthen their research methods, report writing and paper presentations.
Aside certificates that were presented to all the 174 participants, awards were also presented to some who were outstanding during the period of the courses.
Moving on, the International Day of Peace is celebrated annually in September 21st with a view to strengthen the ideals of peace both within and among all nations at a time when war and violence often monopolize the media space. The question is, how well do people understand the concept of peace, and can a nation like Nigeria make bold of experiencing peace? Well, let's find out in this report by Aisha Abubakar Yahya.
2 decades after the declaration of the International Day, the United Nations General Assembly Charter, among other provisions, moved for a 24-hour period of global ceasefire and non-violence for groups in active combat. The asymmetric nature of violence and wars among nations may not allow this provision of the Charter to stand. This year's theme, Shun Racism, Promote Peace, can be said to be apt as Nigeria grapples with various security challenges emanating from religion and ethnicity.
There are different ways that we can term racism to be, especially when you look at ethno-religious conflicts that we have. We have discriminations in job, we have discrimination in appointment in positions.
When you have racism, you have tribalism, you have ethno-religious crisis, you cannot have peace. And if you don't have peace, you cannot have development.
Commemorating the day, peacemakers, peacekeepers, and advocates like Salamat Isa are in the spotlight to enlighten the populace on how to make the world a more peaceful place.
This year's theme is actually relating to the fact that Nigeria should have curbed the unemployment, the low level of education, because I believe if you are highly educated, you won't even think of any kidnapping to begin with. So I believe peace building is all about trying to foster peace before it actually emanates into conflict.
The day is very important in Nigeria, as advocates such as Salamat are looking forward to the days when insurgency, religious and ethnic differences will allow peace to reign, while dialogue will take the center stage.
For peace to be available in a particular country, there has to be, equality, there has to be good governance, there has to be a lot of things like justice and all that. So all these are lacking.
We have so many conflicts around the country that will not allow us to say that there is enough peace in Nigeria.
If our leaders get it right and the followers also support the leaders, I think we should be able to achieve it, all things being equal.
In as much as the United Nations is advocating for peace globally, it is also important to note that enjoying relative peace across the world remains a collective responsibility, and as such requires a collective effort.
The Kwara State government recently commenced the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in the 16 local government areas of the state, and here is an update. The National Homegrown School Feeding Program was inaugurated in 2014 by the federal government with a view to improving the health and educational outcomes of public primary school pupils in Nigeria. The commencement of the program in Kwara State, being the 35th state to be captured, coincides with the beginning of the 2022-2023 school calendar. Now, how many pupils and schools are to be captured in the exercise? Well, the state's focal person, Bashira Abdulrazak, provides answers.
We have 16 local government areas in Kwara State, which we have about 1,456 schools that are benefiting from the program right now. About 1,667 cooks have been engaged for it, which we have 94,881 pupils benefiting for now.
The elated pupils who could not hide their joy and excitement lauded the initiative by the federal government.
Thank you, federal government. We appreciate the food. Thank you, federal government. We really appreciate your effort.
It helped the people to participate in the school because they will know that they will get food.
Thank you, federal government.
And from the outer, patriotism, unity and selfless service are pivotal to ensuring a strong and indivisible nation. Those were the words of Reverend Ido Ibitoye of the Unity Baptist Church at today's Sunday service. Fumilayo Familone reports that the service heralds the week-long lineup of activities to mark Nigeria's 62nd anniversary.
Signaled the tone at the last Sunday service prior to Nigeria's independence on October 1st, 2022. Reverend Ido Ibitoye charged Nigerians to put ethnic, religious and political affiliations aside and chart a new course for Nigeria to be great again. He called for proactiveness of government at all levels and security operatives to find lasting solution to insecurity, which is having its multiplier effect on major sectors of the economy.
I expect the political class to be more matured. When they were in that podium campaigning, they should not malign others. They should not slander others. They should not abuse their political opponents. They should be matured. Let them climb that podium and read their manifestos and let Nigerians decide.
We need to change our mindset. We need to change our orientation because this country belongs to all of us. And by the grace of God, all of us we will work together to have a good nation that we hand over to our children.
INEC will not count prayer points. INEC will count our votes. If you refuse to go out and vote and you are thereafter complaining, you are on your own. We are not for or against any political party.
The state governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak was represented by Commissioner for Special Duties Abosede Buraimon.
We should allow love to dwell in our midst. We should express love to one another, irrespective of the ethnicity, irrespective of the religious differences. where there is love, there will be peace, there will be patience, there will be joy, and there will be happiness.
At the Lord Chosen Charismatic Church, Taiwo Ilorin, the message centered on showers of blessing delivered by Pastor Kalu Lambert. He admonished believers to build close relationship with God and put their trust in Him with a view to accessing bountiful blessings.
One must accept Jesus Christ into his life as his Lord or our personal Savior. That is the gateway to receiving showers of blessing from God. The person will have access into the divine blessings from above.
For you to be a heir or receive the blessings of God, you must make yourself available for God. Surrender your life totally to His way.
Special prayers and song ministrations climaxed the service.
Sorry we had to end that report abruptly. You're watching NTA ILORIN Newsroom, and we shall be back after this break. Don't go anywhere.
My husband, what don't be all this mess? Andy, what do they measure up and down?
So you know see our level don't change. Now the measure space we will contain everything where I go back when I win my 1 million for FCMB Millionaire promo.
Win and change your levels with FCMB Millionaire promo. Just download the FCMB new mobile app to open accounts easily. Deposit minimum of 5K for the new account. Make you come visit wincity.fcmb.com to play and win. If you be FCMB customer, just deposit your 5K to your FCMB account. More deposits go give you more chance to win.
Bros, I don't open FCMB account and I don't put money inside. Hi, the guy. We still dey use them.
FCMB Millionaire promo. Levels go change.
Thank you for being there. Over 100 communities with an estimated population of over 1,000 people and public infrastructures, as well as farmlands and produce, have been submerged by flood in Patigi local government area of Kwara State. Abdullahi Alewat reports that the flooding was occasioned by excess water released from various dams in the country.
Patigi is an agrarian community with over 100 other settlements located along the bank of River Niger. The people of the community and its environs are predominantly farmers and fishermen due to the advantage of landmass and water that surrounds them. The water, which has always been to the advantage, apparently became disastrous as it overflowed its banks, destroying property worth millions of naira and rendering many people homeless.
We are shelling gradually towards Baladogi community in Patigi local government area of Kwara State, where notable government facilities like public schools, federal government water scheme projects, as well as houses have been submerged into the river as a result of this year's flood.
The curiosity to see the extent of damage caused by the flood took me to some of the affected communities like Babogi, Gwangpa, Sunkoso, and Maogi, among others. The pathetic situation of seeing the residents of these communities languishing in the pools of dirty water that breeds mosquitoes and expose them to contaminated waterborne disease is disheartening.
The flood has been disturbing us every time and is affecting our livelihood. This flood has not only destroyed our houses but also our foods.
Life at the IDP camps is not easy, and there seems to be no sight of help coming from anywhere. This is no doubt a big source of concern to Esu Patigi Alhaji Ibrahim Umar Bologi II, who noted that the quantum of destruction experienced this time is unprecedented.
The need for us to speak out to the government to come to our aid. This flood disaster and it destroys the lives and properties of the common man and my community.
As water is still rampaging, and there's no doubt that these people need urgent first aid.
Now, the opening of major dams leading to the flood ravaging hundreds of communities in parts of the country has taken its toll on 11 communities in Shonga Emirate, a local government area of Kwara State, as an unprecedented volume of water carted away their sources of livelihood and rendered thousands of residents homeless. Now, this next report is by our correspondent who visited the area.
What used to be hectares of rice and maize farms, which served as a source of livelihood to the people, is all gone. One of the victims, Umar Usman, showed me where his rice farm used to be.
Water everywhere with little to drink. This is the remains of almost 9 communities in Songa Emirate in Edu local government area of Kwara State. According to some indigents, it is an annual occurrence that not only destroys investments but also displaces residents. Now, what is the way forward?
Well, the way forward is the federal government to come to the assistance of the community by erecting a permanent structure for these people.
For NTA News to get first-hand assessment, we embarked on a boat ride through Yimondi, Peleji, Patako, Patarenji, Bafita, Gudu, Kachegi, Kusagi, and terminated at Tada. The over 5 hours ride was not a pleasant experience as most of the communities had been submerged. The Emir of Shonga, Dr. Haliru Yahya, while commiserating with the affected communities, ruled out some steps that can prevent the devastating effect of the annual flood.
The most important thing now is how to resettle them and the resources to resettle them in a meaningful manner. We appeal to government, federal government, state and federal government to see what they can do.
Formerly, I can travel from Shonga to Lokoja, to Onisha, to River Niger. But today we can't do it again. Why? Place because it has filled up with the sand and grass.
Ganadogo, Kocheji, Patako, and Imaji, if you look at those areas, they used to have a high production of the rice.
Dredging of the Niger River was a part of the suggestions made by the community that this will go a long way to reducing the annual flooding experienced along this area.
Next is Sports Tidbits with David Tuta.
Chess competition will begin on 3rd of October and last until 9th of October. The event is hosted by the Orchid Lekki Chess Club on behalf of the Nigeria Chess Federation. As the top players battle for the top spot and the prestigious title of National Chess Champion, there will be other categories to accommodate chess players at all levels from around the country. Super Eagles striker Taiwo Awoniyi has expressed disappointment at Nigeria's 2-2 draw against Algeria B team, but believes that they are positive to take from the result. Nigeria played out a 2-2 draw against a second-string Algeria side on Friday in a test match.
Well, we're sorry for the abrupt nature at which our Sport Tidbits too had to end. And unfortunately, we won't be able to give you weather forecast due to some technical hitches. And that's the size of a package on NTA ILORIN Newsreel tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it. I'm Olajide Bello. Good evening.